and the only remaining child of a widowed mother I'll politely call eccentric. Trying to balance my grief with caring for them and maintaining a career so I could support us, while simultaneously sorting through a tsunami of interview requests and the usual Hollywood rumors, was overwhelming. It seemed as if every day a new book or article or tabloid headline about the life and death of Natalie Wood was hitting the newsstands. I couldn't begin to keep up with them, nor did I want to. It was an accident. She was gone. She shouldn't have been, and the pain was almost unbearable. What more was there to say? Still, I kept wanting to reach out to RJ. We had never been close, per se, but we were family. I felt we should have been grieving together and comforting each other. And then, when he was ready to talk about it, he could finally tell me what happened to Natalie that night, and I could stop lying awake, imagining 1,000 different scenarios that ended with 3 able-bodied men alive and well on the Splendour, and my sister lying dead on the coast of Catalina. But RJ quickly made it apparent that not only did he want nothing to do with me, he'd come to think of me as an enemy. I couldn't understand it. It hurt a lot, and it only added to my confusion, so I went on trying to mend that fence and doing what I needed to do to care for my family. Natalie was never, ever far from my mind. I circled around thoughts of not just how she died, but also how she lived. Countless memories of us together, some of them precious, some of them not so much. The times we laughed together, the times we cried together, the times we were mad at each other, like sisters, but loved each other too much to let it last. The times she was my hero, my protector. The realization kept hitting me over and over again that if the situation were reversed, if I'd gone away for a weekend and not come back alive, she would never have tolerated not knowing. She would have moved heaven and earth to get to the bottom of what happened, for her own sake and for mine. I owed her the same, but I felt powerless. And on top of that, I didn't know where to begin. Then one day, 10 years after Natalie died, I got a phone call from out of nowhere that slowly but surely changed everything. At this point, I've lived for 40 years without Natalie, which is more time than I got to have with her. 4 decades of major life milestones of happiness and sadness. And through it all, I've wished I could see her growing older beside me. Now, in my 70s, I know that my traditional fallback position, my go-along-to-get-along approach to life, won't suffice. For too many years, I didn't feel I could get involved, out of fear that I had nothing to contribute. No way to break through the deafening tabloid noise. I was also terrified of the possible repercussions of digging deeper when everyone seemed to be saying there had been no foul play, that it was truly an accident. Telling this story is the bravest thing I will ever do. It's the best way I can think of to honor Natalie's legacy, tell the unvarnished story of our lives, and uncover the truth behind that fabled night on the Splendour. 1. It couldn't be Natalie. It was the night of November 28th, 1981, and I couldn't sleep. I had this vague, icy feeling that something, somewhere, was wrong. I just had no idea what it was. So my mind was racing all over the place, trying to find that fire I needed to put out. It couldn't have been my daughter, my only child, 7-year-old Evan. She had been sleepy and content when I put her to bed an hour ago. Mom had been staying with us for a while, and she was okay when she went scuffing off to her room shortly after dinner. She'd been fairly fragile since Dad had died a year earlier.